I'm not sure if it's an age thing, but I'm learning more and more that all people have an incredible story to share. We choose not to set it free, though. We took in the movie I Will Survive with Gloria Gaynor last night. Now, the song has literally been a part of my entire life. I bought it as a 45 when I was a kid. But I didn't know the story, the struggle, the victories, and the stumbles. In the documentary, she reads from her handwritten journals, proving how important it is to lay out your ideas, questions, and experiences on a page for later use. Your thoughts in real-time moments teach as well as set free the experiences in the way of growing forward. Now, before going to the handwritten journals inside this documentary, Gloria Gaynor swiftly shuffled through some old photos. So many bad memories, she points out, and yet her handwriting painted a completely different emotion. Now, I'm not sure if this is an age thing, but I am more willing today to learn more about other people's stories. Not to challenge or compare, but to be there. To hear how things were introduced and worked out. Hey, if you're not going to write it out, the least you could do is shout it out. Hey, it's Arrow. This is The Daily Mess, a chronological walk through an everyday world. I am a daily writer. I am the silent wolf. I watch and I observe. I listen. I study. And then we come together and we share a conversation. This is The Daily Mess. Each week, we've designed our life to have 3 days away from the essential job. 72 hours to replenish, to finish, and or begin anything new because it feels so good to reach out and discover new things. Comparing notes with my past, any time off wasn't part of my path. It was always about being put into the game, which is why I could really relate with Travis Kelce at the Super Bowl number 58. The dude wasn't being played. His tantrum was witnessed by the world and accepted by his coach, who openly admitted how much he loved seeing that kind of passion come into play. I do wonder, though, how he'll accept the changes, when the body will ache in ways that dual action pain relievers won't fade from sight. Not a Debbie Downer moment here. It's learning from each other how to gracefully embrace the next level of change. The challenge of developing a different walk and way with a real-life acceptance of what we once did was only a chapter in life, and there are so many unwritten pages waiting to be filled. My 72 hours a week are all about doing the things I didn't get to do in my 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. Living life 1 minute at a time. We always read these stories about how they would love to do a 4-day work week, and the only people keeping that from happening are these big corporations because they believe that we should be there sometimes 5 and 6 and 7 days a week. I work with people at the Essential Job that will put in 12 to 14 days in a row, and I just don't understand that. And is it because the company is so willing to pay overtime? We need more people? But the thing is, the mind, body, and soul need more than even 72 hours of complete rest. If we don't discover new things that we can go out and play with or to design, then what we're doing is we're shutting our real true selves down. And that's why there's so much angst and people are having mental issues, is because we're not giving ourselves the proper time to discover new things. So in these 72 hours that we get, we go camping. We go shopping for things to put inside the house. New things make the body feel good. But we also have conversations. We jump into things that most people would just throw aside and say, okay, when I get around to it, I'll bring it up in a conversation. 72 hours isn't enough because you still get that dull ache in your soul that says, I gotta go back to work tomorrow. But we're going to change that thought. Don't think of it as work. One of the things that I've discovered in these 72 hours of being free is that what we do in these places of business is that we create connections with people who aren't getting 72 hours off. They're getting no time off. They're looking for an escape. They're looking for that one place where they could find just a little bit of joy. If we could just change our perspective and make it less about going to work, in other words, us, and put it, how can we make your day greater? Ask them the questions. Get them engaged. Create the conversations. Things then begin to change, not just for you, but amazingly for them. I'm Arrow, and that's The Daily Mess.